I'm Davey.
I'm Misty.
DMWATS.
Unscripted.
Unedited.
Unapologetic.
Let's get it. What's going on, everybody? I am Davey.
I'm Misty.
And welcome to the 101st episode of DMWATS Podcast. 101. So DMWATS Podcast 101.
DMWATS Podcast 101.
That's what it is. It's the class to pass. That was terrible. I'm sorry. I tried something that was, I just saw it came out right at the moment. And I apologize.
Good, though.
I apologize for that outburst. So anyway, you guys know it. Catch us on all the streaming services. If you watch us on YouTube, hello, everybody. Still about that dough, still about that AMC. Man, oh man, Sheba. You guys know we've been saying it. We're going to continue to push it. Sheba, Saitama, we all about them. So you guys, do you do diligence? I know. Do your due diligence. Take a look. We aren't a financial advisor.
Hey, and it looks like we're rallying.
Yeah, looks like we're rallying.
AMC,
all of them. You guys take a look.
Beyond,
all
GameStop.
That.
It looks like everybody's going to the moon.
Yeah, time to go after the shorts. And if you guys don't know what naked shorts is, take a look and find out what that is.
Look it up.
Bad for us. Well, bad for them. Good for us. So anyway, hope everybody's doing great. We're going to go. We're not even going to take the time to do anything else. We're going to get right back.
Yesterday.
We did a lot on our 100th episode. Boom, 101. 100 episodes. So we're going to go right into the fishbowl topic. And the fishbowl topic of the day is, we may or may not look at it, may or not we'll do it. But judge by the look on my wife's face, we are going to do it. What you got, baby?
The fishbowl topic of today is biggest regret.
Biggest regret. Man. We
not getting in at Tesla.
Shit. That's one right there.
Not holding AMC.
Okay, so well, let's not say stocks.
Selling my Doge.
Okay, how about this? How about we'll go ahead and throw all the stocks in there real quick so we can get that shit out of the way now. So, biggest regret, everything she just said.
Yep. Not
getting into a year ago when all this COVID shit happened. Man, oh man. I don't
Nokia.
Man, I don't know if you guys have seen those not so much memes, those stupid questions people ask.
I got one
hey,
better.
if you could, baby, hold on, let me just finish the ones where it asks if you could go back, tell you to 10 years and talk to yourself. What would you tell yourself? If you could only say 3 words to yourself, to your teenage self, or your previous 10 years from ago, what would you say? And remember what I wrote? As an Apple Google stock. Mm-hmm. Apple Google stock. You know, I'm just saying, 10 years ago, Tesla wasn't a thing. 10 years ago, AMC stock probably might have been a thing.
At 30 something.
Oh my goodness. Now, moving forward, a year ago, she's talking about all these things we're about to say are our biggest regret from a year ago. So a year ago, you guys know we were
at the beginning of the pandemic, before the pandemic even had hit.
Yeah, we were getting into the stock market, and then we sat down with each other, and we said, okay, look, this stuff is getting bad with COVID. So we was like, what stocks do we think would be good to look at? Now, mind you, at the time, we were only doing penny stocks. So
yeah,
we were
30, 60, 35
cents and stuff like that.
But $35 or $60 was
we
like,
just,
man, that's too rich for our blood. But I can buy 200 Zom.
Yeah. So what we did is
Zom didn't do anything by the way.
It did, just not what we hoped. Yeah, not what we hoped. So I will say this: we wrote a list. We sat down at the table. We wrote a list, and
we dated it.
We dated, and Moderna was on that list.
And then we lost it, and I found it a year later, and I went, I found our list, and we looked and got really depressed.
We wanted to burn that list because it was like, wow,
we had picked it.
We picked everything, guys. Like,
picked
Moderna. We had Moderna. It was $35. It was like, look, with the COVID stuff, it's a good thing to be looking at pharmaceutical type stuff, like like bio companies that's going to be looked at to probably come up with a cure.
I'll tell you what, if we would have bought into that, this podcast would look so different.
Way different. If we would have got calls on it. If we would have got calls on it.
Advertisers.
Oh man, we'd have advertisers.
Because we would have had money to get them
from our mansion. You're like, hey, go ahead, put it out there.
In our studio.
Yes.
With the tiles that are soundproof and the bouncy and the great.
We called Moderna.
And the 2 cameras flashing back to me and you.
We called Tesla. Tesla had got down to $89 at the height of COVID, and it got like so bad. Tesla was down to $89 a share last year. So a year ago. So how do you think we felt?
Those are our biggest regrets.
Yeah. Don't even get us started on the other ones. Doge, we were spitting Doge and all that other stuff. I mean, shouldn't have sold off a lot of our Doge, but we did.
Dennis in Mine. I used to hold a lot of Dennis in Mine.
Yep.
By the way, Dennis in Mine's still good to get into if you like uranium.
Yeah, man. We're still into that one. I got 3 calls into that one. So, but that's our stock regrets. So, talking about in general our biggest regret. Let's go ahead. We don't have our biggest one. I mean, I'll say not so much our biggest one. We got a few of things we regret.
My biggest regret is not knowing that I could have just done it.
Done what?
Like, I'm not gonna name names. I'm not gonna anything. My biggest regret is that my 20s was wasted on my 20s.
Yeah.
And that, you have to go through the pain of that instead of going to school, instead of leaving him alone, instead of leaving him. Like, not just my biggest regret is not believing in myself.
Yeah. And I think, we can all, when you start talking about biggest regrets, because everybody like, man, if I could do it all over again. Well, you can't, but if you could, it's like, all right, well, you've been given a chance to do it all over again. Where do you want to start at? If the creator, if God, creator, whoever you believe in, and say, look, fine, where would you like to start at? I'll let you go back and do it over again. Where do you want to go? What year would you want to go to? And he's like, look, I will let you live it. Not even so much. Hold on. Okay. How about this? I will let you go back. How about this? I will let you go back. I will let you know some of the things that you know now, not all, because I got to keep some things from you. But I'll let you know some things you know now. I'll let you know one thing, and you can go back to whichever time in your life you want. However, the kicker is you got to live that life all the way up to you are now. You can't go back, make the change, and then now I'm back to here. But you have to live that life from 18 or wherever.
And I really, as much of an asshole as he is, I love my son and I like him.
Yeah.
And so I would have to make sure. So, 25.
Okay. Why 25?
I had a great job. I had a great job. I was driven. I was focused. I had a great freaking job.
Okay.
And I had my kid. And my kid was with me, I had my kid. And I could have left all the nonsense, like seriously, because I'm sitting there going, okay, where would I go? But it's like, but I want my kid.
Yeah.
Which means I got to be with that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, where did it really start turning bad? 25.
Yeah.
25.
Well, I mean, I guess mine would be 26. I would have been in Japan. I think it was like, I'd been going to Japan. And 07, 06, 07.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been going to Japan is what would have been happening. And I think what I would do is I would continue to do my dream of flying.
Oh, sure.
Because I had started it and, it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just didn't work out. And there were certain things I agree with you in your thing where it's like, well, the person I was with, it's like, I wouldn't have let them stop me from doing anything. You know what I mean?
But you want your kid.
You want your kid. That's why my kids were obviously there.
You have your kids.
Right.
Exactly. And then it's like, nah, it's going to be okay. If
right.
I had that knowledge.
But, okay. So how about if you could go back, what's the one thing you would want to know? If a guy was like, okay, so you want to go back to when you were 25. What do you want to keep? You can keep knowledge of one thing.
Knowledge of one thing?
Yep.
You.
Really?
November 28th, 8:31 p.m.
Yeah, knowledge of one thing. How about I say knowledge of two things? Because now that's not fair because we both would keep that knowledge. And it's like, okay, that's crazy but okay. So I got to ask, because our life would have turned out way different, right?
Yeah.
If we had that knowledge of each other back then, 07.
Right.
So it was like,
but would we have worked harder towards our goals and what we wanted?
And that's the thing.
With the knowledge of us.
And because he would say
at this time,
right.
And you guys won't change. Let's just even say that. You guys will have that thing that you have now.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're waiting for you.
Right, but that's the only thing you get to know.
But you know, with that, would it made us be more excited, you know, and be like, okay, I am going to be the artist. I am going to do this. I am going to do that. So that when I get back to him, it's going to be like, oh, wow, you got to, you know, you did this.
Okay. So that's the thing, right? It was like, we want to keep knowledge of each other, but he would say, you can't say anything. You'd have to keep that knowledge to yourself. It's just the knowledge of ourselves.
Yeah, see, but it gets sticky.
It does, because whatever would be happening, it'd be, I can't sit here and say that whatever would be happening with our former spouses, they'd be like, you'll be gone soon enough. I ain't worry about it.
Right.
Like, you're not even the one for me.
Good.
Don't worry about it. It happened. You're not.
Right, you go ahead.
You're not upset that this happened.
Want to go out? I'll stay here.
Yeah, don't worry about it. That's the same. But okay, so how about this? Two things, because that's the number one thing with us, right? So how about two things at least?
What?
So you get to know two things. One is us.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's like, okay, one more. But no matter what it is, you can't.
And you can do it on your own.
No matter what, you can't say anything to anybody about it.
You can do it on your own.
Do what?
I never talked to anybody anyways about what I was doing.
Okay, so what's the other one?
Nobody knew I was getting a divorce.
So what else would you do? So what else would you pick? Two things. Us, you know about us. What else?
The knowledge that I could do it on my own.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Because at 20 something, you don't have that knowledge. You have nothing but doubt and insecurity.
But do you not think that
for women, well, I mean, for me, speaking of me, that's all I had was doubt and insecurity.
Okay. So do you not think that if you had knowledge of us already, then that would come with that though? Then is that not knowledge?
Because I was old. I would be older. I would be in my 40s when I meet you.
Yeah.
So I'm in my 20s. I got to get 20 years.
Okay.
And how am I going to do this? And how, so I want that confidence of, no, you can do this and it's going to be okay to get you to that mark. You can start now. You don't have to wait another 10 freaking years to get the confidence and the courage to say, no, screw you.
Well, I mean, and that's, wow, that's different. Yeah, I mean, that's different, because with me,
truth bomb.
Yeah, boom, dropping it, because we would still have that knowledge of each other.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, well, I know you're coming.
Yeah.
I know you're coming. I know when you're coming. And that's all you get to know, but you get to know one other thing. It's like, okay, if I know she's coming, I know when she's coming, then what I'm going to do to be prepared is I want to know everything I know now about stocks back then. Okay,
so I had thought about that, and here's why I didn't pick that though.
Okay.
Because I had already started when I was like 12. That was something that was already, I wanted to know, and every bit I would get. In the marriage I was in, I'm not going to say it wasn't allowed. It's just, he was only allowed to know about that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And if I asked a question, it was, what do you care?
Yeah.
It was like when I would sit down and watch hockey, I would have to do it in private because he'd come through and go, you don't give a shit about hockey. Yeah, I fucking do. I always have since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So like, it's things like that. Well, I didn't have the confidence, even though I would say, kiss off, it wasn't the confidence to say, you know what, I'm gonna go pack a bag now. Yeah, because I don't get to be me.
Yep. But so here's the reason why I chose stocks, because it's like, okay, and that's knowing about the stocks that I know now. So like, no matter how I lived my life back then when I was 25, I know that here in another 20 years, or well, less than 20 years, but 15 years, I'm about to meet the love of my life. We're going to get into stocks.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? However, if I knew then what I know now, back when my ex left me and it was legal and like, what's mine is mine, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to get into stocks and prepare for when I meet her.
Bitcoin.
Yep, that's like, now I'm going to get into stocks and prepare for when I meet her. because when mine left, I want to say Bitcoin was only at like, it was like at $600.
Yeah, it
It was
doable.
like, it was doable. And so it was like, look, what are you doing with your paycheck? Putting it all in it. Well, how are we going to eat? Well, I go grocery shopping, but we're going to.
And I would have, even if I would have had that confidence, because there was a time when Bitcoin was that I was making that kind of money, that I would have put it into one Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, trust me.
I'm trying to think of what else. Another regret of mine is that I didn't continuously continue to paint. And that I didn't pick up oils until I was in my 40s. I had gone my entire life without oil painting, and I should have.
Yeah. And that would have been good.
That's my medium. It ended up being, that's my medium. That's what and because I'm sorry, there's a painting over here that's gonna get finished. And it's amazing. When I saw it, I cried because I'd forgotten about it. And I couldn't even believe. And that was years ago. And I haven't painted as much as I should have, but that's always my regret, that I'm not.
Yep. And and that's another thing, when we talk about regrets, it's like, man, had I done this? Because, I know
so much further.
Right. Me in school.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
That'd be another regret of mine. Like, I wouldn't have given my GI Bill away to anybody.
Yeah. No, seriously.
I would have held on to it, and I would have finished my master's degree
earlier
while I was in the military, where it still cost me $0. And that way I would have held on to the GI Bill for my PhD.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for my PhD.
And I would have.
Yeah.
It was hard because I had to stop because of medical reasons, but I would have gone back sooner and completed.
Anybody want to still fund our schooling? DMWATSpodcast@gmail.com. It's like, hey, here's 40 grand for y'all to go to school. Thanks. And we will literally show you transaction by transaction is being used for school.
Yep.
Anytime. So, but no, seriously, that's one of the things that I would do. And I would love to, like I said, my passion for flying.
Yeah.
My passion for flying. I would have loved to go up there and get my private pilot's license.
And what's crazy is, like, in 10 years from now, we could sit here and ask the same question, and it probably will be the same thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be like, you want to fly, I want you to fly.
Oh, 10 years from now, we'll be talking about this. And I said, well, I would say flying, but I accomplished that. So, but she'd be like, well, I would say painting this, but I already did that.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So I believe it.
No, I believe it. I'm just saying, but for most people, that's what happens.
Yeah,
regrets become that cyclical.
Yeah, and so what we got to say is that, look, the thing is, right now, if you were to look back at your life and say, man, my biggest regret was this. Okay, so do you want 5 years to go by and be like, man, my biggest regret was this? So what is stopping you from going and doing the thing that you regret not doing 10 years ago? No, okay. So it's like this. There are certain situations, right, where you're like, well, that this person was the love of my life. I regret not holding on to her or him.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, what's stopping you? Well, I'm married now. Okay, well, then you shouldn't have that regret then. If you're married to the person you're in love with, you know what I mean?
Seriously though, as far as love goes, with you, I don't have any regrets like that.
No, I'm not. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying in general, like with people, I'm speaking from that aspect. It's like, if I regret not, if you are a single person.
I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, I know, baby. Like if you having that, you're that single person and you have a regret for a love that was lost that you didn't go after.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if that person is with someone now, well, you just have to respect that. And that's just that. You got to move on. That's just that. But if they're not, and you're not with somebody, I regret. No, you don't get to do regret. It's like, I wish I would have said something. What's wrong right now? What's wrong right now with spilling your guts out and saying, look, man, I've always had a crush on you. I mean, you don't want to randomly go up to somebody. I've always been in love with you, blah, blah, blah. No, let's not do that one. Let's go with
You did.
Well, hold on. First of all, I knew I loved you before I met you. And that's a song. I ain't trying to get in the...
No, but I mean, that's just...
Yeah, that's just the way it was.
It can be changed. If you have regrets, you can change them.
You can change them. And I think there's people with a lot of regrets. Man, I regret not taking that job. Okay, but you took a different one. Or I regret not being qualified enough in that job. Hey, real talk. There are things that we even regret now, right? We did an interview for a job. but not even a year ago.
Yeah.
Not even a year ago. And so I regret with that job. I don't regret not taking it because I wasn't prepared. You know what I mean? I wasn't. Look, PTSD is a hell of a drug. PTSD is a hell of a drug. It's a true thing. I don't regret not taking it. I regret not being able to convince myself, hey, you need a little more time. Because all the time and preparation we did into going into that interview, overqualified. I was overqualified for the job.
Yeah.
And it just didn't, we didn't take. I made up some excuse. Don't pay much. Sure. And then there were other ones that were offered. I was like, no. But I regret not being able to identify a lot of things going on with this illness.
Sure.
And being able to get help sooner. But one of the things that a lot of us can agree with, everything happens for a reason. Even when you're going through the toughest time in your life.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're not counselors. This isn't when the somber music starts playing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But even when you're going through the toughest time in your life, why would God put me through this? Why would I, it's just like, look, everything happens for a reason. You're learning. Take them spoiled little rich kids that has everything handed to them. I ain't saying no names, but I'm just saying there's never had to deal with a difficult time in their life. You know what I mean? And
they'll regret it.
Yeah. Now you who's dealt with all these times and you learn to appreciate the things that are happening to your life now. You know what I mean? That's one of the biggest things. But seriously, when you start talking about no regrets, what's one other thing that?
Well, I have one that I'll never. I mean, you see those memes, be mindful the last thing you say to someone, or if you say to someone, because it might be the last time.
Okay.
Guess what? I'm the wrong chick.
Very much so. I have to 100% agree with that.
Because even if something tragic happened to anybody I talked to last, if I'm telling you something, you needed to hear it.
Yeah.
And I actually will not regret that, because I'll be happy that you knew where we stood.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're close like that, where I'm telling you off, then you all also knew that I loved you. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't play that with me.
Let's not play that game.
Nope.
That's not.
If I told you drop dead, I meant it.
Mm-hmm.
And you did.
You did, yeah. So there's
I'm not gonna feel guilty
that's
about
the
it.
thing. And that's the thing. We talk about, regrets.
Yeah. And so, I've had it happen.
What? We told somebody dropped dead and they died?
Yeah. But they died, we got in, I had words or whatever. Don't worry. Nope.
Yeah, that sucks. Nope. That sucks. That would really work on a person. That would typically work on a person.
I'm that person, and not everybody is that person, but yeah, I don't have regrets like that, because I always make sure, and that even when we're fighting, even when it gets really, if we have an argument and it gets really bad, I immediately will sit there. I'll say something and go, okay, that was wrong. And I am immediately sorry for that. I'm very aware of what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. But
if I don't say I'm sorry, then you deserved everything.
Then I'm not. But I will say this. One of the biggest things that you can, when you talk about regrets, is that I feel like regrets are also missed opportunities. Well, not missed opportunities. That I misspoke. Regrets are also opportunities, not missed opportunities.
But usually though, a regret comes from
a missed opportunity.
Missing an opportunity.
Right. But I also look at regret as an opportunity. Sure. If you have a regret, that can regret can be your opportunity to do something that you won't regret anymore.
Yeah.
So if you regret not being, if you feel in your heart and soul that you were meant to be with somebody else, most likely your relationship is going to work anyway.
You keep going to relationships.
No, I'm just saying in general. If you regret being with, I'm gonna let her keep going with that. She literally know my feelings. Like I know. So, but she already knows.
Francis.
Yeah, she already knows. If you regret not getting with somebody else, and you're in a different relationship, most likely that relationship isn't going to last. And when it doesn't, you go through your heartbreak and you're like, you know what, to hell with this. Why don't you go get this other person? If excuse me, if you regret 40 years on this earth, I'm just choosing a number, 40 years on this earth, and you were like, man, I wish I would have went to school. What's stopping you? y'all ain't seen on the Facebooks where 70 and 80-year-olds are getting bachelor's degrees. What's stopping you?
Exactly.
What's stopping you?
I mean, they're also getting STIs too.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yes.
At an alarming rate.
At an alarming rate. Real talk. But there was a story.
Gonna regret not wearing that condom, I'll tell you that.
There was a story from a guy who works in a nursing home who's like, dude is like dealing with high schoolers because in nursing homes, apparently, you know, the elderly they like jackrabbits. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time the elderly are from an era where, hey, the condoms weren't like, condoms were more of a suggestion than a necessity.
Well, and I think they're also sitting there, which is, I'm sure, a regret now. They're sitting there going, we're old. You know, we're all healthy, relatively.
There's a medicine for that.
It'll be fine. Nobody can get pregnant.
Yeah, it's like at that age, it's like the 80s.
That's what they're thinking.
They're in their 80s and 90s. And it's like, hey, you now have this. Okay. Well, typically, guys, you're only going to live about 20 to 30 years with that. Pretty sure I'm done anyway.
Pretty sure it was worth it.
Yeah, pretty sure this is not going to stop me from free balling it. So whatever, this is going to happen. That's right. We're going to free really through the whole thing. Yeah, so I mean, and that's what it is. But anyway, hey, what are you guys' regrets?
I hope we come. My regret right now is this 101 episode.
Not me, because I did it. I don't regret it because I did it. Yeah. Did it.
Wow.
I did it.
You don't regret the
nope. Here we go.
Hands. That's DMWATS podcast.com.
I went there, shooter hands.
On all the streaming services.
Bang, bang. Boop.
You can find us anywhere if you'd like to give us a fishbowl topic so that we're not talking about deep shit like regret and Davey's apparent need for talking about relationships.
Oh, please. The shooter hands. Don't forget the shooter hands.
You know, making sure everybody's in love.
Yeah, truth. And the shooter hands. Are you not even going to say anything about shooter hands?
gmail.com.
You went through all that and not going to say the shooter hands?
I'm not saying shit about shooter hands. I don't like them. And you know that. That's
bang, bang. So all right, look, there
again. Doge, AMC, and Sheba and Saitama to the moon.
Hey, DMWATS. Wow. That's wow. Why would you? What? Anyway, signing off. I mean, if you're gonna do it, be like, make it believable. That's no, you're doing a patir. You might as well. Anyway, pea shooters. Anyway, like she said, Doge, AMC, Sheba, Saitama, you guys know it's DMWATSpodcast.com. Signing off for DMWATS. I am Davey.
I'm Misty.
Hey, thank you guys for joining us for our 101st first. That's not a thing. 101th episode.
I have a TH though, because I erased the 0.
So there,
I just put a 1.
I read what she put. Thanks for joining us for our 101th episode.
There's a regret for
there you go. There you go. Say, signing off, guys. I'm Davey.
I'm Misty.
Once again. We're DMWATS. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Give me a kiss.
Bye.
Bye.